Well, almost a year after I made part one of finding Bicker Haven, I'm back at Surfleet to make part two. So we started in the same place as part one. In part one, I went eastwards to Fosdyke Bridge and we found the eastern end of Bicker Haven. Today I'm coming back and retracing my steps, and we're going to look for the western banks of the Bicker Haven. So what is Bicker Haven? Well, where we are now, and hopefully you'll see the drone shots in a second, where we are now at Surfleet, the banks of the Welland are obviously made up, and you can see the banks are very, very prominent to recover the farmland that is now so rich in its produce. And hopefully on the way back I'm going to get to see many farms in action. Harvest is pretty early this year, and they're working very hard on the fields at the moment. So they weren't always fields, of course. Where we are now at Surfleet, the Welland would have washed not only into the haven at Boston, which is the confluence of the Welland and the Witham, but it would also washed slightly northwards towards the village of Bicker. Now we're about 8 miles from Bicker, probably slightly more than that as the bike rides, but believe it or not, Bicker was once by the sea, although it was more of a sort of tidal inlet than the actual sea with waves, etc. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go back and up the western side to try to find any remnants of what could possibly be left of the banking of Bicker Haven, and have a look at it today. So I hope you enjoy the video. Let's have a quick dive into the map to see where we are then. So we are down here at Surfleet Sea's End, and part one of finding Bicker Haven, we went all the way along the Welland, along the side of the Welland, and we found the eastern edge, which comes up here like this. You'll see that in a moment. I've got a great photograph of a map of what it would have looked like, or what it does look like. I got a LiDAR image as well, showing that it's still there today. It's just obviously dry today. I'm going to go up the western side this time. So from the same starting position, we're going to follow these roads here. We're going to cross the new A16, and we're going to go up by the side of Gosberton Bank, hoping to get some video shots around here somewhere from the drone. Then we're going to cross the old A16, which is the A116 now, or 1116. And eventually we're going to end up here somewhere. And I'm going to show you this body of water. Now, that is a little lake. Is that a leftover from Bicker Haven? I'm not 100% sure. So let's continue without further ado then, and show you where we're going to go. Thanks to South Holland Heritage, a Facebook page where I got this image. So brilliant, showing Bicker Haven, really what it would have looked like. So where we were there, Surfleet Sea's End, where we went to last time, Fosdyke Bridge, and followed the eastern edge up. This time I'm following the western edge up. So you can see this yellow area here, that is Bicker Haven. And you can see it flying all the way up to the village of Bicker, which was once served by fishing boats and ships coming in off this tidal wash. So this area would have been a tidal inlet, and part of that tidal inlet still continues all the way up and through Bicker. It's no longer tidal there, and it's only just like a stream that runs through. But this is the area that I'm interested in, so I'll be travelling up this side this time. The green areas, interestingly, would have been marsh areas, whereas this would have been an actual tidal inlet. So that's where we are now. That's where we're going. I'll try to fade a Google Maps in. Just let's have a look at that. So back to Google Maps there, and you can see the modern map. Just when I fade in this map, it's not going to be exactly to scale. It's very difficult to get the scale, but you'll get the gist of it, I think, when we start fading into that map showing that yellow area of Bicker Haven. It's broadly in the same place. So just any second now, we're going to fade that in, and you'll see roughly where we're looking at as against the modern map. And there we go. It is slightly off. The River Welland there is sitting slightly to the north of where it should be. It should be on the broadest point of Bicker Haven, but you get a broad idea of where it runs in accordance with the real map today. I'm just going to pop over this. This is a LiDAR, again, from South Holland Heritage. Very grateful for this shot. This is a LiDAR shot, and you can see the sort of fingers of Bicker Haven still sit underground. You know, they're still there. It's just obviously today, it's just farmland, as we're going to see in a moment. So anyway, on with the rest of the video. It's the drone shots next, and I'll try to talk you through where we are on the drone shots. So you can see in the centre of the shot there, that is Surfleet Reservoir, the river and the channel coming together there. There's actually the actual river itself, the Welland, comes in from the right. So there's actually the confluence of three watercourses there. Take a look at that pylon run that stretches across the river there. We'll see a lot of that. That kind of marches through the middle of Bicker Haven. So if you can see those on a map, that's runs right through the middle of Bicker Haven there. So what we're seeing now as we turn round is where Bicker Haven was. So where we are on the Welland there would have washed through those fields and formed the part of a tidal inlet. And we're looking north, kind of north-east there. And that really is the Bicker Haven. As the drone comes round, you'll see the far end towards Fosdyke Bridge. So somewhere between where we are now and Fosdyke Bridge, that was the bank of the Welland wasn't there, of course, and it would wash into that tidal inlet from the wash itself. As you can see, the river snakes its way there towards Fosdyke Bridge. Well, I've come a little bit out of my way from where I was a moment ago up on the banks, and I couldn't resist coming down and just showing you this part of Surfleet Sea's End. Perhaps better explain in the map section why what we can see the other side of this is called Surfleet Reservoir. There's no reservoir there at all, and why we're on something called Surfleet Bank now. But I thought I couldn't come this part far and not show you this beautiful part of the world. Lovely pub behind us, but unfortunately it has been closed for about a year now. The ship used to like to come here and sit outside and have lunch, but it has been closed and there's no sign of it reopening. But there we go. Explain that little bit that I was talking about there, otherwise it won't make sense. So I was here just outside the ship, which unfortunately is now closed, and I was looking down on to
the River Glen. The River Glen comes in through Surfleet, but also meeting at Surfleet is the River Welland, the bigger River Welland that we saw earlier down here when I was flying the drone from here. But you've also got two other bodies of water that come in. You've got this drain here, and you've got this drain here, which this is the one that runs all the way from Spalding in sort of parallel to the Welland. So they provide the drainage for the local area. But this bit in the middle here, this is called Surfleet Reservoir, and all it is an area where if the water levels will get too high, to protect this farmland around here, the sluices would do their job and hold the water back in this area here. So it's not a reservoir at all. It's just a basin that is used as a sort of flood wash, as it were. You can see the golf course here. So there we are. Just thought I'd explain that a little bit.
Pedaling a little bit harder now to get up what must be one of the biggest hills in the Lincolnshire Fens. It's all of about 4 or 5 foot, but as you can see, I don't know if you can pick that up, I don't know if the camera picks that up. Hopefully the camera is picking that up. You can definitely see a little bit of a bank there, and we're cycling on the bank, Surfleet Bank. So this would have formed the western start, the western beginning of Bicker Haven, and to our right then is where the Haven met the Welland, or where the Welland washed in and created the Haven. So it was a tidal inlet, and it went all the way, probably 8 or so miles as the crow flies, up to the village of Bicker. I'll try to tell you something a little bit about it on the way. Okay, I'm not sure if the camera is picking that up, but it almost looks like a desert or a beach down there. I think either that crop has failed, or it was just a crop that they used to recover the soil with. I guess that's probably what it was. But it does look very much like a beach or a desert with all this dry weather we've been having. But that kind of gives you a reminder of what this would have looked like as a sort of marsh, tidal estuary type marsh, and this is the land that was recovered from it. Obviously very fertile and very good growing ground. The first place of note as we come out of Surfleet Sea's End, as we came past on the bank, as you can see, hopefully some farming activity going on and a lovely sea of sunflowers, replacing the sea that would have been there. Now we are on the junction of Surfleet Bank and the new A16. So I say the new A16, it was built in the 90s, and you can probably hear it in the background. And that was built on the line of an old railway line, the Peterborough to Boston branch line, which was made redundant in the beaching cuts. It laid dormant for many years, and then it decided to replace the old A16, which winds its way through Gosburton, slightly to the kind of west of us here, with a nice straight piece of road. And it's quite a busy piece of road. I've got to cross it to get the other side, so wish me luck with that one, but I've only got to go literally straight across. I guess at this point here, where we are now, would have been either a bridge. I'll have a look at the old maps to see if it was a bridge or a railway, a level crossing, to get across. But essentially, behind me now, where we are now, is where the Bicker Haven was. So wish me luck, I'll try to get across this road. Oh, telegraph. Not much to see out there, of course. It's pretty flat, pretty desolate. But what we're looking at there, I'm stood on Gosburton Bank, which is a continuation of Surfleet Bank, and obviously I don't know if the camera picks that up, but you can tell this is Lincolnshire, this is a hill, this is a bank, or the Lincolnshire Fen, should I say. This is definitely a bank. It might not seem a lot, but down there then is where it would have been Bicker Haven, tidal inlet. Now, I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but there's a long run of electric pylons, and that is one of the main routes through the country. I think they call it Z6M, or that's the name given to that particular run, and it runs from Bulwell in Nottinghamshire right the way down to Enfield in North London. But that sign of, if you look at a map and see where Z6M runs through, it kind of marches through Bicker Haven, where Bicker Haven would have been. So there we go, that's a reference point for you. But here we go, Gosberton Bank. I'll try to get the drone up here. Not a great deal to see, but hopefully it'll give you an idea of the lie of the land. So we've crossed the old A16 and we continue on Gosberton Bank. The old A16 is now, I think, the A116 and the new A16 which replaced it. Well, the traffic levels on the old A16 are still quite high, but we crossed that okay and we're on the Gosberton Bank. So what you can see there to the east of me, or we're looking northeast now, but that's the Bicker Haven. It would have been the Bicker Haven. We're still on quite a bit of a raised bank here, and you can see the pylon run Z6M running there from left to right down towards North London, and that defines where the Bicker Haven is. If you wanted to look at it on the map, it marches right through the middle of it. So to the west of us is the villages of Gosberton, and then a little bit further up we'll pass Quadring to the left of us, to the west of us, before passing Donington and then on to Bicker. I'm pretty certain the camera won't pick that up in the background even if I zoom, and it may do. You can just about make out in the far distance the windmills of Bicker Fen. So that is how close we are now back to Bicker. So I thought I'd stop here just before we get into Quadring. I've got Quadring Church just on my behind me. I thought I'd stop here because I always admire these dikes and ditches, of which this of course place is covered in them. That's how we managed to drain. I say we, obviously I'm only going to be bucket and spade out and start digging all these dikes, but this is where we drained, the Royal We drained the fens, and obviously the part of that drainage was Bicker Haven eventually, although it actually dried up of its own accord. It silted up eventually. There was a lot of salt making went on around here, and around Quadring, you know, there has been evidence, archaeological evidence of activity there from as far back as the Roman times with salt manufacture. So it's been dried up of its own accord, but of course these ditches and dikes help with matters. So we've got one that side of the road, we've got one this side of the road, and of course we've got one the other side of the road. So they're just lovely places in the summer. And this is the kind of road we're dealing with here. Lovely road. But to be careful if you are driving on these roads, because either side of them are these huge. I mean, that doesn't look much from me. It looks like you walk across it, but I tell you that ditch will be deep. But there we go. So Quadring Church, just in the foreshot there. Hopefully you can pick that out somewhere. And that's the way I'll be heading now.
Quick jump into the maps again, and I think I've been calling it Z6M. It's actually 4ZM. We've got the Z and the M right. So this is the run of electricity pylons that we've been looking at, and it's quite a major run through from Nottinghamshire down to North London. So you can see here, this is down here where the pointer is now. That was where we were at Surfleet. So we've come up the side of these roads here, and if you look at this body of water here, that's what I'm about to show you with the drone. So we've just come underneath that to be on this side of it. So we're now this side of those lines here, just to give you some idea. And then obviously the village of Bicker and Bicker Haven is this area here that we've talked about.
Well, so there we are. A little bit warmer at the end than I was at the beginning. Sun's come out now. You're full on sun now, and it's quite warm. So there we go. I'll end the video there. So that was the part 2 of finding Bicker Haven, and we've come up the western side, the banks of what would have been the haven. We're almost in the parish boundaries now for Bicker. So I hope you enjoyed that. The last drone shot should have shown you that sort of body of water that I was talking about on the it is a lake. It's called Bowman Lake. I don't quite know what goes on there, but maybe it's a private fishing lake or something. But I hope you had a good look at that. That actually would have sat really where the body of water that Bicker Haven would have once sat. So who knows? It could be a remnant of the past. So right in the middle now of Bicker Haven. Let me just spin you around. There we go. We're right in the middle there. As we've seen, Z6M comes and stalks its way all the way through it down to Surfleet. We actually saw that on the drone flight at Surfleet. That was the pylons that I was trying to avoid there. So it's been with us all the way. There's a bike, just to prove that I biked here. I'm on about 26 kilometers now, and so there we go. And the lake that I was mentioning just sort of is around about there. So hopefully you've enjoyed that, but thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.